like a balance beam. Hi, welcome. I want to show you what I built, and I want to show you how you can do it. I think this is probably one of the better, maybe even the best platforms for building a yurt. And I want to show you how I did it and where I got the plans. Let's jump into the build process. A couple things you're going to really need for this build, and that is a miter saw. Super essential. I'm off grid. I tried at first using my Blue Eddy. I got a couple cuts out of it, but I had to go with using my generator to power my miter saw. Now this whole thing obviously is comprised of angle cuts. So tons and tons of angle cuts, but really it's not that hard to do. You just bang them out all at once. When I first jumped into this, I cut all of my cuts flat like this. I don't know what I was thinking. Everything needed to be cut upright. So I had a lot to recut, almost everything, but I am going to be building another platform, and I was able to reuse most of my mistakes because all of this was concentric from smaller to larger, so I could repurpose everything. So don't make that mistake. Cut everything upright. Besides that, I think it's a fairly simple design that anybody can build. I think it's much easier than lines of posts and trying to lay out a circle using straight boards. I found these plans off of Trillium Domes. They're on YouTube. I just love his domes. I love his designs. And he has this deck design. Could be either for a dome or a yurt. So this is what I'm going off of. And I'll put the link below. I did purchase these plans and they're not really that expensive. Takes you through basics of the build. They give you a cut list and everything you're going to need. So I just really feel like this was the design for me. I don't think it's that hard. It just takes time and effort, and you can do it too. So let's dig in. So these are 4x6s. I've got to screw all these together, mark the location where the posts are going to go, and then dig my posts. These are going to be a beast to move around. So here's the layout. I've got all the corners braced and I need to move it back so I can dig post holes and set the posts. The plan suggested to put the frame together on the ground, move it out of the way, and then lift it back up on the posts once you had the posts in place. That did not work as I had hoped. Kind of pulled apart on that end. See what it did here? Same over here. Truth be told, since I was working alone, that wasn't going to work anyway. So I was going to have to dismantle this frame and set the beams on the posts one at a time. I was using 4-foot 4x4 treated posts, dropping them about 2.5 to 3 feet in the ground. To level all the posts, I went around the perimeter using a simple string line level, marked my posts, and then cut it with the skill saw. Next up was putting all the beams back in place and screwing them back together. I believe I was using 6-inch, kind of like log screw kind of screws. Next I was pulling my diagonals to check for my measurements, and then it was time to dig holes and drop posts for the center support. With every post in this project, it was crucial to make sure everything was plumb and then use a spud to really pack the dirt in, make it really secure. So I got my post set in the middle. Now I need to get these cut off to be level with everything else. So I've got it tacked in at the very top of that post and then all the way over to the top of this post. And I double check. I have bubble right in the middle. So I'm just gonna make a mark right there. So there's my mark. Okay, so to the naked eye, this looks right, it looks good. I am nervous. I just did the work. It should work. Okay, this is the moment of truth. Please. Just a little low on that end. I did ultimately add one shim on top of a post. Pretty good. Well, it's not too bad. This is insane work for as hot as it is. But get to move on to phase 2. This is where the fun part of the build began. Starting to see the layout and what this thing would look like. I was laying out the joists all around the perimeter until this happened. So I just realized I made a big mistake. A really stupid mistake that's going to cost me money and time. More mad about my time. But all of these needed to be cut on an angle, right? 12-degree angle. Guess what I did? I did them this way. They should have been done this way. I'm so furious with myself. This is like a day's worth of work in the big scheme of things to just catch up with. I guess, you know, when you build, there is just always something you're learning, always something you're screwing up, always something you're getting right. I had the layout really good. Like all my measurements were good for once. That was really nice. But like, I cannot believe this. And my son has this really cool thing he once said. He's like, I give myself 10 minutes to be angry, frustrated, mad, whatever it is. And then you got to move on. So I get 10 minutes to kick the ground and like a bull and be really, don't show me red right now. And then I have to go redo all of this in this 85-degree heat. So I only got 10 minutes. I'll be back with a much better mood and all freshly cut boards. Oh my goodness. Let's see if that fits. So there it is. So to start off on these angle cuts, you just want to, first of all, establish your first cut on the end. You don't need to measure, just the less waste possible, the better. Now that I have this cut, I'm going to flip it around. And from long edge to long edge, that's where I measure. So I need 1, 2, and 11/16. Make my mark. Hit it with the speed square, so I got a line. We want our blade to hit just to the top on the other side of this line. So it will be off the line, but we want to target the top of the line. That's how you're going to get your angle cut. Just like that. I've got long end to long end. That's my measurement with the 12-degree angle cut. That's what it looks like when it's done correctly. I was cutting them flat on an angle like this, and that does not work. Now that I've got my floor joists on, I'm going to do the rim and the blocking. And you put the rim on first, and that really establishes the whole layout from there. It's going to give you the correct spacing, so then you can come in with your blocking and everything will just fit right together. But you got to start with the rim. So that's what I'm doing now. I'm a few boards short, but I'm going to go with what I have right now. Just line it up with the one I already had, and that goes out. I'll straighten it out when I get there. Just like that. I'm going to move down and center that one. There we go. You can see how the layout just kind of finds itself. Look at my helper. You just chilling on a hot day? You got the life, man. Look at you. You just get to watch. So now what I'm gonna do is get this all leveled out. This should be a nice circle, which it's not right now. So I'm gonna bump it out, center it to my mark right there. All right, I've manipulated the boards enough to get pretty much centered. So now I'm gonna put in these little blocks. Frame is done. Yay! This is the finished 20-foot deck for my yurt. So that was trial and error. I learned a lot, but I think this is a fantastic, solid foundation for my yurt. Super happy. So that's it. It's done. The next part is I need to insulate and put the subfloor on, and then a nice laminate flooring probably, and then my yurt will be here and I'll have to put it up. So that's it. Again, these are not my plans. These are plans from Trillium Domes. They're on YouTube. I'll put the link below. Hope you like the video. I'll see you in the next one. Squirrel in the woods. She gone. Oh, don't forget to get outside and get happy.